Alex Pino with MMA Mania. I'm here with Patchy Mix, who returns to action this Friday at Bellator 301. Patchy, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. Just a few days out from Bellator 301, like 72 hours almost, so it's coming fast. I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Well, first of all, thank you so much for talking with me during fight week. I know you have a lot of media obligations to weight cut, but you are 3 days out. How are you feeling?
Turn that light off, will you? It's like messing up. I know. I feel well. Yeah, I feel good, right on schedule, easy weight cut, healthy, good team around me. My team's been here. We've been here since Sunday in Chicago. And we're just, really waiting for the moment here. I'm just ready to take advantage of it because it is such a big moment. Going against Sergio Pettis, someone of the caliber of the Pettis brothers. I really wanted to take full advantage of the moment and, just live in this moment and just really shine on Friday, should I say.
Been a long journey. I mean, you know, you go through this tournament, and then you win the interim title, but you have to wait until Sergio's back. Now it's just a few days away until you get to unify the titles. Like how excited are you?
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I felt like we were fighting for the number one contender in Hawaii. But, it was so cool because I got the belts and the $1 million and all this shit. But then when I got home, it's like, I don't know if people like really viewed me as the champion yet. So it kind of didn't sit well with me. I had this major impressive performance over that little shit Stots, and then I knock him out in 60 seconds. People think that it's a fluke because I don't knock people out. Needless to say, like I've been nailing people with that knee for like 8 months, just putting people down, you know what I mean, to the body. Like I take it off in practice too, but I'm like hurting guys on accident. I'm like, oh fuck, sorry, you did. So like when I'm thinking like I won that fight and I had like a lot of clout behind my name, but they don't give us Bellator fighters, like man, like my knockout's probably one of the best at bantamweight of the year. So it's like, I think Gutierrez had a sweet one too. You just like that. But I'm thinking, yeah, so like the title, I don't know, man. I just like it was cool how it went down. It was cool to win the $1 million, but interim champion, like I'm not here for that. I'm here to call myself a champion is the best in a division. And how can I call myself the champion when Sergio still has his title and he's around? He beat the only man to beat me. So he's rightfully the champion.
I saw you land that knee in practice a few times. So when you landed in
Yeah.
that
Oh,
fight,
come
I
on.
was like, "Oh my God, he's
They
been."
should have told Stotts that shit. I'm telling you, bro. They should have told him that. I don't know what he was thinking. But yeah, it was one of my most practiced techniques, and I have a whole bunch more, and I'm gonna be throwing them on Friday. So, I'm going against one of the best kickboxers here. It's a lot different of a style matchup, even though they train together. Those two guys, he's very flashy, very creative, and accurate. So I need to be on my toes, and I need to be accurate myself, and I feel like I can win this fight. I feel like I could dominate this fight.
Before we get to that fight, I caught some shit on social media because I said that I believe that you're the best bantamweight on the planet right now. And of course, people say, "Oh, he's in the B League. Oh, he's fought nobody. Oh, blah blah blah." So me talking to you right now, obviously, it's going to sound a lot better if you win the title on Friday. But right now, you stand. Do you believe you're the best bantamweight on the planet right now?
Yeah, I gotta believe that, but it's just my skill set and how dangerous I am. I feel like I match up well against anyone, and when I look at the other champion, I think Sean O'Malley. He's got like I have a better record than him. I have more finishes than him. Even the level of opponents, he only has two wins over active UFC fighters, and that's Peter Yan and Aljo. Like, before that Aljo fight, he had one win over an active UFC fighter in Yan. Like, you look at my resume, man. Kyoji Horiguchi fought for the UFC title. I dominated him. Magomedov has a win over Peter Yan. I put him to sleep. Raufeon Stots was 19-1. Bellator champion. I put him completely to sleep in like 80 seconds. I finished like 12 or 13 out of my last 14 wins. In the last 6 years, I finished almost everybody besides Kyoji Horiguchi that I've won against. So like my credentials speak for themselves. And Friday, when I go out there and when I go out there and when I finish this guy, I'm gonna be 19-1 with 15 finishes. They better hope this all don't sell, and you know what I mean? Fuck, like they better hope some crazy shit don't happen where it could be like that. But for real, for me, like I think like you have to believe you're the best in the world in order to compete, at this level. Like we're all trying to be world champions, right? So if you're like fighting for a world title, regardless of your promotion, you better believe you're the best in the world. And if you don't, then like I don't know, you shouldn't be fighting for a belt. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, you might be fighting Bellator, but it's not like you don't train and have sparred UFC champions, right? So it's like it's
Yeah, it's just the game doesn't change, it's just the promotion. I mean, we all train together. It's one big pool. Like only us fighters know, you know what I mean? But it's like it's a small world and we all train together, you know what I mean? So I know I could compete with anyone in the world, and I just know that I'm one of the most dangerous bantamweights, you know what I mean, right now. Like obviously I'm not fighting all these guys that they deem as the best, so how can you call yourself the best? But I know that the most dangerous, just off credentials, the amount of finishes I have. And the only person that's finished as many fights, like, well, not the only, but one of the only. I was thinking like Charles Oliveira. Over the last 6 years, I've almost done what he's done. If you look at my record, if you go fight for fight, the finished like almost everybody. 12 out of 13 or 13 out of 14 wins. So it's a big streak, and that's what gives me also confidence to go and compete against these guys. Like I got a big fight on Friday. And that's like the most important thing here, and I got a dangerous fighter in Sergio. He's coming off a win over Patricio Pitbull, and Patricio beat AJ McKee. Patricio beat Michael Chandler in like fucking 40 seconds. You know what I mean? He knocked Michael Chandler out. And this guy outclassed Patricio Pitbull. Like, he dominated him 50-45. So it's definitely a dangerous fight in front of me.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I know how much you respect Patricio because we've talked and you said that, that guy's good.
That motherfucker's good.
Yeah, and like you said, Sergio went out there and beat him. So I know you've had your eyes on Sergio for a long time. What do you think of him as a fighter and the matchup itself?
Dude, I respect him. Like, fuck, 6 years ago, I was like 4-0 or 5-0. And I was at Jackson Wink and I did like 2 weeks of his Brandon Marino camp with him. He was the headliner in Mexico City. He was fighting Marino in the main event, and he needed a backpack. He needed the best guy in the back, because that's what Marino is so good at. And I trained with him for like 2 weeks. Dude, he was a dope ass dude. You would never think he was headlining a UFC event. He was just like a normal guy. He actually gave me a lot of inspiration to go and try to like. I was 5-0, broke as you can be. Like, barely had enough money to like scrounge up plane tickets to go to camp at this point in my life. And this guy was headlining the UFC. He was fucking Anthony Pettis' little brother, and he was like my age. I looked it up when I was training with him. He's like my age. I drew inspiration from that. And then like when I came home, I remember I was doing my camp. I fought the next week after him. I fought a catch weight at like 130. Man, I was actually trying to like lose weight at this point. I was so like I didn't have as much muscle when I was coming up, when we had trained. So it's like I was trying to almost go down in weight, you know what I mean? Try to get down there too. So he was like, dude, I did the camp with him, and he hooked me up with some gear when he left or something. I don't know. He was just a super cool dude. And then I always followed him. I always rooted for him. I was like a huge fan of him. So then years later, now it's like we're fighting and we're professional prize fighters. We're getting paid for it, but I have tremendous amount of respect for him and his family, and what he's done, leaving the UFC and even accomplishing the things he's done. He's beat, like I said, the only guy to beat me. So I respect him, and all that great shit. That's why I do this shit. That's why I'm in the gym, and that's why, and now he was, I was a fan and it was cool, but now he's on the other side of the bracket, and all my most vicious techniques are trained towards him, and all my most vicious techniques on the ground are trained towards him. So I'm here to shake his hand, smile at weigh in, smile at press conference, and talk with respect because I have to be like that. But on Friday night, I mean, without a doubt, I'm running to that fucking cage and I'm gonna try to rip his head off. And that's it, because this is for my family. This is for my people, my mother, my father, my brothers and sisters. We don't come from much, and you give me an opportunity like this, to win a world title, to make the type of money that I could potentially make. I don't waste it, and I'm not going to. He'll have to put me down and he'll have to kill me to get me out of there, because I'm going to be coming after him from the first minute to the 25th minute, and I'm in shape. Like that Juan Archuleta fight years ago, man, I might have not have been in the best shape, but now I can go fucking 10 rounds. So I'm ready to go after him, and I'm ready to fight, and I'm ready to see those crazy, most vicious techniques that he's got on the feet, that crazy ass kickboxing. I'll be there. I'm going to be coming there walking him down. So I'm excited to see it, and I'm excited to feel it. I'm excited to just to compete against someone like this, man. Sergio Pettis, SP Pettis, man. The undisputed champion, and 23-5, flashy guy. I'm ready.
Well, thanks for sharing that story. That's actually cool. It's almost like a full circle, right? Where you fucking growing or started your career as a fan, and now you're fighting this guy. It's I love those types of stories, man. So I guess the
Yeah,
last thing kind of about the fight, obviously you're elite on the ground. Your stand up is ever improving, and you showed that in your last few fights. Sergio is very good. He's well rounded. Like, are we gonna see you stand and bang with him, or are you or are you do you want to take this to the ground and really show what's up?
bro. It's the last Bellator event of the maybe of the year for say Bellator 301. It's the last one of the year. It could be the last Bellator event ever. As the in the great words of fucking Sean Strickland, we're doing the man dance on Friday, and I'm just gonna go fight him. That's it. I'm not going in there thinking I need to do anything. I'm not going in there I don't need to go. I just got to go fight him, just like we do every day. I'll be there just like I do every Tuesday, Thursday. I'll be there, and I'll meet him in the center, and we're gonna see, man. I'm gonna walk him down. That's it. Yeah, I'm gonna fight him in all aspects of MMA. So yeah, we will see a little bit of it all.
I love it. Well, at the end of the day, man, this Friday night, Bellator 301 in Chicago. How do you get your hand raised?
By any means necessary, man. By any means necessary. But I will get my hand raised. I will bring this world title back to my hometown of Angola, New York, where I'm from. I will rep that, and someone like me, like this is they forget, you don't I don't miss twice. So, I got my first shot against Archuleta, and I'm not missing this time. So I'm back, and I'm ready this time. I'm ready.
I love it. I love it. Couple last things before I let you go, bro. I wanted your thoughts on Sean O'Malley winning the bantamweight title. I know that you've trained with Aljamain a whole lot. What were your
Uh,
thoughts? What were your thoughts when Sean won that title?
man, I was super bummed for Aljo because I was watching, I've seen him when he was walking out and he looked, kind of upset and shit. I was like, I made eye contact with him. He like waved to me and shit. I just felt so bad for him, because he just lost his title, and Aljo was on a run to be called the GOAT, the best of all time. He beat TJ Dillashaw. He beat Henry Cejudo, who can you really claim over him? Not Dominic Cruz's ass, I'll tell you that. Fuck. But no, I'm thinking he so I was felt bad for him, but then like Sean O'Malley, he's young, like and it was impressive, and it was cool to see his family was next to me. It was just like it was inspirational. His whole family was crying, and I'm not a hater, you know what I mean. I'm a fan of MMA, like sometimes like we lose, like even myself, I've lost, so it sucks. Sean O'Malley's lost himself, but I can't hate. That was a spectacular performance, it was a dope ass knockout. He did well. He did his thing. He's got good ass striking. You know what I mean? I can't knock it. You know what I mean? Like shit. I gotta be a fan of that. I'm not a hater when it comes to shit like that.
Hmm.
But if we're talking about me compared to myself, then I just gotta. It's a whole different mindset.
Absolutely, absolutely. In March, you told me that you and Tatiana would be champions. Obviously, Tatiana's not going to fight by the end of the year, but are you still
Oh,
holding true? Hopefully, maybe. You know, uh, are you still holding strong that by the end of early next year, both you and Tatiana will be
yeah,
champions?
we are. We are. We're gonna be champions. Who knows, man? They might need somebody at the end of the year here. Who knows what might happen? You never know with the UFC, especially. They be putting on fights. Tom Aspinall just won the fucking fight in like 2 weeks or something. He took the fight, right? So like you never know with fights. But without a doubt, I know she will be a champ. She will be champion. She will be the next champion. When she gets her shot, she's coming and she's coming full force too. So, I'm gonna do my job Friday and bring I got two Bellator belts at home, the Grand Prix interim belt. I want to bring the undisputed belt home, and then we're gonna work on her camp and just go back dive into her camp. She's gonna get ready and she's number 3 in the world right now, 7-0 in the UFC, 5 finishes in her, on her own too. So like, she's killing her game, and she's gonna be a champion without a doubt.
And finally, obviously, if this is Bellator's last show, what do you want to do next? Obviously, do you want to go to the UFC? Do you want to go to PFL, or are you not even thinking that far and you're just focusing on Sergio right now?
I go to Disney World. No, I'm just saying. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm just focusing on this fight. I don't really think too. I live in the moment, man. I live day to day. I don't really think too far ahead, to be honest with you. I'm honestly just hoping that I can get through this on Friday night and I could be back training because I like to work. Like you know what I mean. I'm not trying to miss any time in the gym, so I'm hoping I could walk out of there with my hands intact, my face, my everything intact. But I'm willing not to. You know what I mean. I'll put it all on the line. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean. To be honest with you, but you know, as long as I'm I'll just focus on this week, and I'm just trying to be happy and healthy every day. That's it.
Love it. Patchy, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, especially during fight week. If you want
Anytime, man.
if you want to plug your social media, if you want to plug any sponsors you might have, and if you want to thank anybody, the floor is all yours.
Just a big thank you to my team. All my coaches that are out here, all my training partners. Back home, I have so many of them, especially on the Mondays and Fridays classes. They've been hooking me up with extra grappling for this fight for sure. My girl Tati, my family, and all my sponsors and stuff too. You'll see them on my banner and my shorts this week, and they just like they're all supporting me and as I representing them. So it'll be a cool show, and I'm proud to represent Bellator 301. The co-main event, but the people's main event. It's pretty sweet.
We all know what the real main event is.
Yeah, it's sick. Sick.
Awesome. Awesome.